Similar to profiles, blueprints allow us to configure settings and functionality on enrolled devices. The mechanism by which they do this, however, is slightly different, as blueprints utilize Apple's Declarative Device Management framework. Think of it like the difference between a manager who checks in on every task versus one who sets a goal and trusts you to handle it. Older device management constantly checks in and gives instructions step by step. Declarative device management just sets the goal, and each device figures out how to reach it and keep it that way without being told again. This makes blueprints a more efficient and secure method of configuring devices. While profiles are still a valid option, it is recommended to use blueprints whenever possible. If a particular configuration isn't yet supported in blueprints, profiles can be used in the meantime, but be sure to check back as Jamf continues to expand blueprint functionality with each release. My name is Corey. Let's learn how to configure blueprints in Jamf School. From the Jamf School dashboard, click Blueprints in the sidebar. Blueprints can be created using the Create Blueprint button in the top right or a Quick Start template. When looking at the templates, tags indicate which types of devices each template applies to, since blueprints configure settings for all supported devices in their scope. Select a template to get started. I'm selecting the Set Passcode Policies template. Enter a name, a description, and then click Next. The scope for blueprints can target one or more groups, including both smart and static groups. Notice computer groups and mobile device groups appear as options. One blueprint can target every type of device that the selected configuration supports. Since this is a passcode policy, I want it to apply to all of my devices. So I'm selecting the All Computers and Mobile Devices smart groups. Once the scope is selected, click Next. Since we chose the Set Passcode Policies template, we're given options related to the passcode policy. I'm selecting Require Passcode on Device and then selecting Yes. Next, I'm selecting Minimum Passcode Length and entering 8 for a minimum length of 8 characters. In order for a setting to be included in the deployment, its checkbox must be selected. Anything left unselected will remain in its default state. Click Save, and then we're brought into the Blueprint Builder, where the blueprint is created but not yet deployed. This can be verified under Status at the top. The passcode policy settings can be edited or deleted by clicking Passcode Policy under Components in this blueprint. For instance, I just remembered that our InfoSec team also requires complex passcodes on devices, so I'm selecting Require Complex Passcode and selecting Yes. Click Save to save our changes. When ready, click Deploy, and the blueprint will be deployed to devices in scope as soon as they are powered on and connected to the internet. Now let's take a look at how to build a blueprint from scratch using the Blueprint Builder. Let's say our InfoSec team also requires that guest accounts are disabled on all computers. From Blueprints in Jamf School, click Create Blueprint. This time we're brought directly to the Blueprint Builder. To change the name, we can click Untitled Blueprint in the top left and enter a new name. I'm naming mine Disable Guest Accounts. Next, we can start building the blueprint by finding the appropriate component in the Components library. We can scroll through the list or use the search field to narrow down the options. Type Accounts in the search field. That narrowed it down to 2 components. The Accounts component will let us configure guest account settings. We can see from the little computer icon to the right of it that this component only works on computers. Click the Accounts component to open it. Select Disable Guest Account and then leave True selected. Notice that this setting will only work on computers with macOS 10.7 or later. Click Add to add this component to the blueprint. Next, we need to configure the scope. Click Scope. Just like in the template view, we can see a list of all of our device groups. I'm selecting my All Computers Smart Group. Click Save to save the scope. Our component and scope are configured. All we have to do now is deploy it. Click Deploy in the top right. And once again, the blueprint will be deployed to computers in scope as soon as they're powered on and connected to the internet. Blueprints are an excellent way to configure settings and functionality on devices in our fleet. More and more functionality is added to blueprints often. To stay up to date on blueprints functionality in Jamf School, make sure to check out the Jamf School Blueprints release notes link in the resources. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again in another module.